but how do you make sure that it's not too thoughtful? I mean, just to make some humor into it, or maybe use a different sound.
Not too thoughtful.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm not that thoughtful. No, in the sense that I think that all of it is actually driven by emotional instincts, you know, or musical instincts. And usually musical instincts are not overthought. You know, and when I say about adding things and having some sense of humor, this is all in retrospect that I can say this.
Maybe there was one interesting, well, maybe there are more interesting things that you said, but one that you say, well, you said certain songs that were written 8 years ago. Can you name me a few songs that you were saying, well, that's maybe the song that I revisited, and how come it didn't wasn't put on a first album? Yeah.
The song Coming Tonight is an old song, and I might have written that one around the time of the first record, and it just didn't make it on. I think we tracked it and it didn't sound great. You know, we tracked a lot of songs for the first record and for the second record, and some of them don't make them.
Okay.
You know, because it's not happening. And I changed the chorus a bit, just to sort of give it some new life. And it was actually the idea of the producer, Martin Wainwright. Because sometimes when you're in the studio, it's interesting to try some different things. And then the Jimmy song is an old song. And that was done with a producer called Tor Johansson, or Ture in the Swedish. I'm saying it wrong, I'm sure. But I had to put that on an original old EP in 1998, I think it was done, or 1999. That was never released in stores, and I thought it was a really strong song. It's called Jimmy, Jimi, not because of Jimi Hendrix, but because a friend of mine, Jimmy Zhivago, liked the song so much, so I named it after him. And with what Tor did is we went into the studio in Sweden with his band, who were all really great Swedes, really fun guys. We just started jamming on the song, and they just totally took it into a totally different feel and great place, and so it's very different than the first one.
Yeah, because of the shift.
Yes.
It has a shift in this.
It has an incredible... The old one has a shift too, because the song obviously has a shift, but these guys have a totally different drum feel, on the backbeat feel, and on the guitar they played different chords. You know, it's just totally exciting and fun. And so in that way they've been revamped. But those two songs are old songs.
Well then, for me it was a bit... I was thinking, well, married, well, you look happy, everything is going well. And then to call the album, I know you're married, but I've got feelings too.
It's a sense of humor.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was thinking. Or A, it's a sense of humor, or B, maybe it's not going that well. But if I see you now, then I think it's a sense of humor. When did you come up with the title? Do you know? Because it's a line from the first song.
Yes, exactly. The title track, and I think it's the single in the UK, but not in Europe. The title track is the first track on the album. It's called "Bleeding All Over You." But I thought this might be a little bit too menstrual, coming from a female artist, and also kind of obvious.
You heard me. I'm bleeding all over you.
Right,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, I would have a big tampon on the cover. But you know, I thought it was just a little bit too obvious. But I really liked the line, "I know you're married, but I've got feelings too." I think it's kind of funny and nonsensical, and that is the next line in the song, because the song is, "My heart was made for bleeding all over you, and I know you're married, and I've got feelings too, and I still love you." And so it's just an interesting sentiment, and sort of hopefully provocative.
And is it from your own life, this line?
Anyone in that song would recognize themselves right away. And it's a song about 2 or 3 different, friends, male friends, because I like guys, that it was never able to be consummated, or men that I liked and I couldn't have, and for different reasons, either they were taken or they weren't interested, or you're in love with someone and 5 years later you see them again and they're married, but you're still in love with them, and that never goes away. And oftentimes they're really interesting relationships, and they make for very great, strong and beautiful friendships, because there is an intimacy there, but you can't go all the way or whatever. And sometimes that's frustrating, but you sort of get over it. But it's just sort of a love song to all those people that, To all the what is the song? To all the ones I've loved,
to all the girls I've loved before. Yeah,
to all the men I've loved. It's terrible. It's very embarrassing. Luckily, Brad is a very understanding and smart man to know.
But is it